Here it is, the new Firesticks are here. Finally, we have new 4K, and we also have a new 4K Max. We're gonna talk about both of those, the differences between the old models and the new models. It's gonna blow you away. We're gonna do that right now. Let's go. All right, first of all, as you can tell here, there are a ton of Fire TV Stick models. So many models in the past, and they keep coming out with new ones. Why do they do that? Well, technology changes, and that's why they came out with these new models. So the 4K Fire Stick here was the most popular Fire TV device they ever did, and that's because it had 4K technology. It turned any TV into a smart TV, had a ton of apps, all of that. Then they came out with the 4K Max, and the only real difference between the two, besides a little bit of processing speed, was the ability to upgrade storage, because that is the biggest drawback on the Fire Sticks. Well, they solved that today. So let's first talk about the 4K upgrade. Now, this one was released in 2018. So it's been a while, and as I mentioned before, the most popular selling Fire Stick to date. So they just did a revamp. They upgraded the processor basically on this thing. They added a few new features for connectivity to speed up your Wi-Fi as well, because this is a streaming stick, so you want it to stream as good as possible. So let's show you the differences right now. So what are the differences? Well, they upgraded the operating system from the old Fire Stick OS 6. Well, now the new operating system will be running 8, which is equivalency to, I believe, an Android 11. Now, this is going to allow those newer apps to be used on the Fire Stick and be used better. So that is a huge upgrade in itself, just being able to do that. Some of the other changes they did was they upgraded the processor. So now you're going to have a quad-core processor. So it's going to process those new apps that much better. GPU's faster. Storage is exactly the same. The biggest upgrade they did to the 4K, in my opinion, really, besides the processor, is the Wi-Fi capability. It does do Wi-Fi 6. Now, this only applies if you have a Wi-Fi 6 router, which I've done reviews on some new routers out there. But if you have the older router, this will still work. So really, the only differences between the 2018 4K Fire Stick and the newest one coming out really is the design of it, the faster processor, and the Wi-Fi 6. Everything else is pretty much the same. There's going to be some software differences as well. And when I do the unboxing and unveiling of the new 4K Fire Stick, which I will be doing on September 29th, make sure you set your calendar for that. I'll be doing both the Max and the new 4K Fire Stick. But you're going to see some of the other software differences that they added to this, because it does use the newest operating system. So they've added a few new features that the old operating system couldn't do. So that is the difference between the 4K and the 4K 2013. But now let's get into what I'm really excited about, and that is the 4K Max, the new 4K Max. Now, the old 4K Max here, the big advantage of this, besides slightly faster processor from the 4K, was the ability to upgrade storage, and I have videos on that. It's a seamless upgrade for storage. You can do it on these other devices, but they made it a lot easier and accessible internally, and that is huge. So make sure you check that video out if you've got this model here where you can upgrade your storage. It's on our channel. But what they did different with this one is they also upgraded to a quad-core processor, but they made the storage double what it is now. So a Fire Stick normally comes with about 8 gigabytes of storage. By the time the operating system's put in, you're at about 5.5 gigs of storage. By the time the preloaded apps finally load onto your Fire Stick, you're as low as 4 gigabytes. And then if you opted for the optional apps when you set up your Fire Stick, you could be as low as 1 gigabyte available. You can't do much with that. You certainly can't DVR content with TV Mate or apps like that I share on this channel, but you can, and you can only add a few apps to it in general before it's completely full. And once you fill up with cache and your photos and all that, you're out of storage, you have to upgrade. This one has 16 gigabytes of storage instead of 8. You've got double. So this is going to have about, I'm guessing, about 13 gigabytes once all the preloaded apps are on there available. 13 gigabytes, you could have hundreds of apps. Really easy to do, and it is with the new Fire TV Stick 4K Max. So let me show you the differences between the two right now. So what sets this apart from the older 4K Max? Because the 4K Max just came out, what, a year or two ago, so it was a fairly new device. Well, they also redesigned the packaging of it, so the outer casing of the Fire Stick is going to be a lot sleeker compared to the older model. But aside from that, they did some significant changes. Now, one of them is the quad-core processor. 2.0 gigahertz quad-core processor processor, the fastest processor to date on a Fire TV stick. Now this also includes the cube. The storage capacity has been doubled to 16 gigabytes, which is the same as the cube, but in a smaller package, which is awesome. It also supports Wi-Fi 6E. It's the first Fire device that supports 6E. Now this is the newest technology for the smoothest experience when you are streaming. Super important, guys, when you are streaming, because all this data is going over to your Fire Stick, and a 4K Fire Stick is going to want to import through 4K video. So 4K video importing takes a lot of space. You do need to have the best streaming router on the market. I do reviews on streaming routers all the time, so make sure you check those out. This will work with your older routers, but if you want to take full advantage of the newest Fire Stick 4K Max, you might want to consider upgrading your router. In addition to the upgrades I just mentioned there are some really cool software upgrades that they did to this. You can actually turn your living space into an art gallery. It's actually the first ever streaming stick with Fire TV Ambient Experience. It lets you display over 2,000 pieces of a museum quality art and photography. It actually looks like art on your wall. It's pretty impressive, especially if you have a 4K TV. I guess the biggest upgrade on this, in my opinion, is probably going to be the storage. Obviously, you're going to have the latest operating system, faster processor. All these are great, especially when you have new apps. But to have 16 gigabytes of storage is huge. And this comes in at $59.99, which is the same price as the older model. I think the older model might have been released at $55 here in the United States. So it's $5 more than that one was when it initially was released. But they're going to run specials all the time. But I pre-ordered 5 of these because I'm doing a giveaway. I'm going to be doing an unboxing, unveiling. I'm going to show you the features of it, all the new software upgrades that they did to the new one that isn't available on the older models. We're going to do that on this channel on the 29th of September, so make sure you tune in for that. To be entered into the drawing, since it's going to be a live drawing on this channel, you do need to comment on this video. That's how you're entered into that drawing as a subscriber. So just comment down below something about these, something you're looking forward to, something you like about the upgrades that they did that I talked about in today's video, things you would like to have seen that maybe weren't there. Any comment on this video will be entered in that drawing. I'll just put them into a spinner and we'll do the drawing at the end of that video next week. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about these devices. I think the new 4K stick will be a nice upgrade for those that are happy with what they currently have. But honestly, if you really want to take advantage of all of the new apps out there and the full experience, the 4K Max is the way to go, and the newest 4K Max eliminates the need, for the most part, to upgrade storage. I think most people that use Fire TV sticks no longer have a cable bill. They canceled cable, so they're streaming everything through their Fire Stick, through their apps. Amazon Fire was actually the one that kind of spearheaded the whole stream now, and so it forced a lot of these companies out there to create apps, and that's why there's so many apps. There's thousands of apps in the Amazon App Store. Every TV network, every major network for certain, has an app now. NBC, CBS, ABC, they all have apps now, and the reason why is because people are getting rid of cable and they're going with streaming devices, and you can stream all that on here, and they make it really nice with the new software that you can organize it in and watch satellite and live TV completely free within your Fire TV stick with those apps. So it's pretty cool, and I'll cover all of that in that video, so make sure you check that video out. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. If you have any questions about any of these new devices coming out, or even the older ones, please reach out to me. Thanks again, everybody.